In this game, nothing is handed to you. You build your name piece by piece, job by job, moment by moment. Whether you're working retail, interning for a brand, shooting content, or creating your own, the journey is never linear. And in LA, the culture moves fast and competition's heavy, and you got to find your lane and own it. Today's episode is about that grind, learning, observing, growing through experience, and betting on yourself. From retail, Rhude, Round 2, Syndicate, and now building 1213, Andy represents what it means to find purpose through movement, both creatively and literally. Welcome to Kickin Game. I'm your host, Twoogees. Today, we have a special guest who feels like he kind of lived multiple eras of streetwear, at least here in LA. Could probably speak on a few things, maybe heard some combos of people you may know, might have heard them or seen them on Syndicate's podcast. But Andy, thank you for pulling up, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, bro.
How was that intro? Anything I leave out?
No, I think it was great. Definitely summed up a lot of things. So I'm excited, bro.
Bro, I'm real excited for the convo. You're somebody we've been following each other for a while, and it's impressed by the brand. Also, just impressed of consistency, and definitely just been a fan from watching through social media, and we'll get into it. But kind of just want to start off from the beginning, bro.
Yeah.
Take me to like younger Andy. What's your early life like? Siblings? What city? What are your hobbies? What are you doing?
Low key, that might be a lot.
Let's get into it.
But I think early on, just going around, my mom would always say, we obviously she didn't have a lot of bread to leave me with the babysitter. So when she did, she would be like, bro, I would leave you with the babysitter next door, and then I would come back and you'd be home. So like I would always just like find my way back to the crib, even though there was a babysitter, and the babysitter was like, yo, like I can't keep this kid still. Like he just, he needs to, it's either you're gonna have to be with him or put him in a daycare with other kids. So, thinking about that, I'm like, okay, maybe I've always been this kid of like, I need to be doing something. And then even then, when my mom would just leave me at home, I'd be like, bro, I remember my earliest memory is like, my parents, we didn't have enough for a babysitter, so she would leave me at the crib. Bro, I watched all the Rockies, all the Star Wars, like at like 6, 8 years old, bro. Like, so just from a young age, consuming, I guess, like movies I probably shouldn't be watching. Like Rocky, Star Wars was cool, but stuff like that. And then, fast forward, always liked skating with my cousins, with my siblings, obviously get into that scene, fashion, seeing the way, Vans, the way skaters skate, staying out all night, coming back home late, just fucking going around
living
everywhere.
the life, right? Yeah.
My bad. Can you cuss?
Yeah.
Right. Just want to make sure. That, and then kind of fast forwarding into that, maybe like 11, 12, that's when like I seen Obey, and that was my first like into the streetwear game of like, dang, what is that? I think the shirts were like $20, $25, and even that my parents are like, bro, I'm not about to give you $20, $25 for that. And then even when they did, that was cool, but then like you get one shirt, you want to get another shirt, and quickly my parents are like, all right, bro, if you want to buy clothes for yourself that's more than $20, you got to work for it. Whether it's like I would go to work with my mom, she would clean houses, so I would go to work with her, or just collecting cans just to like make bread and buy the clothes that I wanted. So that was that. And then that quickly turned into, damn, like what's Fear of God? What's Rick? What's Liz? What's Saint Laurent? Like, and like seeing like, damn, there's like pieces that cost more than $40. Like these shits are like 200, 600, 1,000, and obviously I couldn't afford it, so that went into, okay, I gotta make it myself. Like obviously H&M was it, because that's the quickest thing you can find.
That's like the most like lowest hanging fruit. If you're like entry level trying to figure stuff out in the fashion game, you know how it is.
100%. So, and then that quickly turned into like, all right, it's not fitting me the way I want it to fit because it was either too skinny or too baggy or too long or too short. So then that turned into altering my clothes, you know, fitting how I wanted it to fit, or like fitting it how I saw how Fear of God looked or how Saint Laurent looked, you know, from like, and this is probably like 13, 14, going into middle school, you know, wearing the shuffling days when you're like, wearing all the like I don't know, you had the rat tail, or you had the
swag era,
the Vans, the Vans with like you barely put 2 holes in the laces and then you lace it up. So that was that. And then obviously now that's when I was like, people would kind of be like, yo, where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get this? And I'd be like, I kind of made it because like I altered it myself. And then that kind of turned into like, all right, maybe I can kind of start my own brand early on. Just making clothes for myself.
Just being creative, it sounds like, just trying to figure it out.
Literally,
like,
bro. Literally.
And so did you have it like, how did you discover all that? Do you have any older brothers or like siblings or like role models that you looked up to?
Yeah, for sure. So another thing was I was definitely around, I think when I was, I want to say middle school time. Yeah, middle school time. I was definitely around a lot of people in my community that probably weren't doing the best things, and, you know, always hanging out with the older crowd. And seeing the way they were dressed. They always had starched jeans, 501s, crisp, like raw denim with the cuffs on them. They always had the nice snapbacks with the green underbrim, Raiders, or like the C hats. That's what I always saw. Big ass, you know, pro clubs, but clean, crisp every single time. So, and always have bread on them. And obviously I'm like, bro, I'm in middle school. These guys are like about to graduate high school, you know? So I'm like just hanging around them and kind of like, you know, thank God, like I never got involved in what they were doing. I was just kind of like a bystander, just watching them. And shout out to them that they never kind of like forced anything onto me of like, you got to do this, you got to do that.
Yeah, bro.
I was just a civilian pretty much. But that's what I remember. Like seeing like, all right, they always had a fresh fade. I'm kind of sick, bro. I don't have one right now.
On camera too.
I'm bugging, bro. Yeah. But it is what it is. But yeah, just seeing the way they were dressed and kind of being like, okay, cool. Like, you know, I always like that kind of aesthetic of just like, you know, whatever they were doing, you know, they always look clean and presentable.
I'm with that too, bro, because even though I may not be a fan of someone else's style or fashion, if they're put together nice and clean, I can respect it. I'm like, okay, you know, they're put together nice. And I think that's what you're alluding to, even though that the cholo aesthetic wasn't what your thing. It's like salute because it's like that's fresh in their own way.
Yeah,
I feel that too.
So I think just that, like, obviously I learned a lot seeing that, like seeing what you should do, what you shouldn't do, consequences, like seeing all that stuff, and like growing up. And, you know, the way I dressed was definitely like, oh, what are you doing? You wearing skinny jeans, bro? Oh, what are you doing? You're wearing a long shirt, bro? Like, I was definitely like the odd man out, you know, all the time. And I kind of noticed that even in middle school, you know, kind of getting into Facebook. Instagram was coming around 2012. And that's when I started to see like, oh, Jerry and Fear of God, and started seeing all the Saint Laurent stuff. And that's when it started opening my brain to like, damn, there's more than just, bro, I come from the Valley, and anybody who knows from the Valley, like, they're like, yo, if you're from the Valley, you're not from LA, pretty much. So being from there, I kind of started to see LA, like, you know, La Brea, Fairfax, and like seeing all like the way they were dressing, the way Ye was dressing, Kanye, Jerry, obviously, Diamond, like, and being like, damn, there's a whole nother world out there that I don't know about. And
what year was that for you?
I want to say, because I was like, I think Instagram, I want to say 2012.
Well, roughly, I could,
like around.
What grade are you in 2012?
I think, bro, I don't even know, King. I want to say I started getting to all this when I was like in 7th grade, I want to say, bro.
Which sounds right. That's like middle school's that age where you start to kind of almost not think for yourself.
Yeah, for sure. But like
creatively want to express yourself.
Yeah. So I want to say like I was like 2012, I was like 11 years old right there. And then 12 is when I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm seeing all this fashion. And obviously, like, it's cliche, but like, bro, I'm from the Valley, and a lot of people don't know about that. And they just know what's there, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, and I was kind of the one being like, pulling up in skinny jeans, pulling up in this and that, and being like, yo, what the fuck are you wearing, bro? Like, and quickly realizing, like, that's just the way I am, bro. Like, how I like to dress or how I like to be. And then I started to see, like, damn, there's a whole nother world out there that embraces that it's like seeing the way you dress and they care about it. So fast forward again, high school comes around, 13, 14. That's when I'm like, kind of start of, you know, seeing like people like the way I'm dressing. So I'm like, let me make clothes here and there. Let me make clothes for people, like my friends and shit. That was like 14, 15. And then from there, I was like, man, you know what? I got to just make my own brand, like make my own like name and something, my own something.
Figure it out.
Yeah, because I was like, I like what I like and I don't see it anywhere else. Like I have like a certain type of aesthetic that I like. And this was like, what I want to say, like, yeah, like 14, 15. Jerry Lorenzo did a pop-up at H. Lorenzo. And I want to say that's when I was like 16 maybe or 15, somewhere around there. I pulled up and I remember he was in there and he had all the clothes out and he was like sitting on this, like just in the pop-up, but like by himself. There was nobody there. And I was like, oh, whatever. Maybe it's like, whatever. It's fucking, I think it's probably like Thursday or Friday at like 7 p.m. So maybe whatever. And then he sees me and he like gets up like, oh shit, someone's here. I gotta, you know. So then I'm like, oh, bro, in my head, I'm like, bro, that's Jerry Lorenzo. Like, what the? Like, I've been seeing this dude since I was like 13, 14, like, and now I'm seeing him. So I'm like trying to play it cool, like looking at all the stuff, being like, bro, I can't afford any of this shit.
You're just browsing and shit.
Yeah, but it was cool to like finally touch the fabric because like for months, maybe years, I was like emulating it, like trying to recreate it because I couldn't afford it. And then he was like, yo, let me know if you need help with anything. And I'm like, bruh. So then finally I was like, yo, man, like gave him the whole spiel, like glaze, like, yo, I like this, I like that, but you inspired me, this, that, and the third. And then he kind of gave me like a crash course of like, I was like, yo, I want to start my brand. What do you think? And he was like, why do you want to do it? Why should people care? You know, everyone's starting a brand. What makes you different? What's your story? You know, why should people care about you? What's your campaign? This like gave me the whole background of like, why are you going to do this? So then I think from that point on, I was like, I bet like I'm going to embark on this. And bro, it's been fucking pretty much head down and just working ever since, bro.
Would you, I mean, you brought up Jerry Lorenzo a few times. Is he one, like, would you put him, like, would he be your Mount Rushmore of not necessarily even fashion people, but just maybe people of like important to you?
Yeah.
Or make up your DNA?
Yeah, I want to say for sure, just because like that's what I saw a lot of early on, like all the campaigns and like, I don't care what anybody says, bro. Like, obviously now, like, I think he's more in a different realm of like, he's older and he's going to dress like an older guy. And that's not really what the youth is on right now. So, not saying I'm youthful, but, you know. But, yeah, I think at that time, just seeing all of that and obviously seeing Ye wearing all of it with the cut off flannel and the zippers, like, and the, you know, the elongated tees, the freaking jumbo pant. I'm just like, that really was like, oh my God, bro. It was like groundbreaking at that time. Obviously watching the whole Yeezus tour and seeing all of that, like that really, like, anybody can say that shifted the culture up, bro. Yeah. So for sure, he's definitely up there just because I'm like, and especially that conversation we had, like I'm always going to remember that.
That holds weight for sure.
Yeah, for sure, bro. So.
And who else would you, let's say Mount Rushmore, who are your other three?
Damn, bro. 3? Isn't it 4? Or am I tripping?
Yeah, you said you have
3
Jerry.
more.
Yeah, 3 more.
Oh, man. I want to say, like, bro, I Hedy Slimane, I want to say that just because, like I said, I saw early YSL. I want to say it was like 2013. Remember when they had like the crash denim? I remember that I wanted the crash denim so bad, bro, like that I tried to remake it, like all the rips and shit. So Hedy Slimane, obviously at that time. I saw a lot of number 9. Number 9 was it had like the hybrid pant and like the cargos. I tried to remake that.
The one like camo and jean. Was
Yeah, crazy, bro. Like that's when like that was a whole nother realm of like
discovery
archive. Like, and this was when I was like 15, bro, and I was like, okay, bro, this is like this goes further back than what I'm seeing now. Like this is obviously I'm like, all right, I see 2012, I see Fog, and then I'm like, damn, wait, there's like 2008, 2004,
and you're going back now and just
kind of like seeing Rick, and then seeing like, I'm like, oh shit, like this is where, and then that's when I kind of like, oh, this is where Jerry's getting his inspo from, like number 9, Rick Owens, Celine, like seeing what they were doing and being like, oh, okay, so they're referencing these people, but just, you know, putting their own little like flair to it, a little swag.
Man, that whole idea of just people referencing everything. We're on the way over here. I think we're talking about essentially. But like, I don't hate that. Like, I find it almost like a game, bro. Like, who could do the best? I know you're a big fan of that too. Like,
super.
Like how could? I'm a fan of it overall.
Yeah.
I want to go back though, before we get into the heavy fashion and vintage. I know you're a vintage head too. I want to talk about vintage.
Yeah.
But you alluded to like humble beginnings a few times. Just trying to figure it out. Shoot, I've recycled cans before, trying to get bread for a fitted hat, like when I was in high school, and just you know, I also used to like haircut. $5 haircuts for my homies in high school.
Yeah,
and you save up the money, whatever.
Yeah.
For me, it was probably sneakers though. You're a little more leaning into the clothes, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like humble beginnings. It sounds like you had to work for a lot of stuff coming up. Does that help you stay kind of like grounded and appreciative now? Even your brand is 1213 has some sort of
weight to it.
Go for it.
Yeah. I want to say for sure, like, obviously, that's how I kind of came up. Like, everyone was around me was working. My parents are immigrants. You know, obviously, thank God they're citizens now. And, you know, seeing the way my mom and dad grinded it out, my siblings grinded it out, everyone around me was always working. So that's all I knew. And obviously, from an early age, my parents were like, if you want something, you kind of got to go get it yourself. But, you know, we're going to give you the basics, what you need, you know, food and a roof over your head. Like, anything else, you got to go get it. Yeah, so, you know, that's how it's always been. So, for sure, bro. And I want to say same thing, too, bro. Like, obviously, I couldn't work till, like, I was, like, 15, 16. That was, like, the age of, like, retail.
And you jumped in right at 16?
Yeah, for sure, bro.
You're
like,
working?
Like, retail. So, but before that, obviously, you know, cleaning houses with my mom. But then resale. Like, I think same thing. I was in 9th grade, and there was a senior, and that's when I saw this one senior kid. I wish I remember his name, bro. I think his name is Brandon, bro. But he would always come in, I think Thursdays or Fridays. No, Friday. With all the new Supreme. That's when I first saw the Playboy Supreme collab. He had all the jerseys, the Hennessy jersey. Like, and I was in 9th grade, so I was probably like 13, 14. Probably 14. And then I would see him like, damn, bro, he got. And then I was like, damn, this dude's wearing Supreme. Like, so then finally, like at the end of the year, I kind of got the courage to be like, yo, nice tee. And then he's like, oh, thanks, bro, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yo, I seen you got. Funny enough, I wore Tim's in 9th grade. And he's like, yo, I see you wearing Tim's. And I'm like, yeah, bro, blah, blah, blah. And then we kind of started chopping it up. And then he put me on game to Supreme. And then that's when I was like, oh, you can resell this. First thing I ever resold on eBay was a Supreme New York box logo, the Navy one. So with the NY on the back and the Navy Supreme on the front, like little box logo. And I remember I was like, fuck, let me try, bro. Like, let me see if I can make some bread. Obviously, I can't work yet. Bro, I got it for like what? I think it was like $40, obviously on the Supreme website. Sold it for $180. And then that's when I was like, oh shit. Like, this is like resell is there. Like, you can actually do it. And then my mom was like, what? Like, you spent how much on a shirt? Like 45 is crazy. And I was like, bro, I sold it for 180. And then she was like, what? So then from that point, I wasn't obviously a crazy reseller, like, you know, going nuts. But anything I could kind of like was like, okay, I can sell this and make that. Like just little petty stuff here and there. I think the real bandit was when the Ultra Boost came out. I forgot what year that was.
Yeah, 2016, maybe 15.
Yeah, so like that's when I was like, it was funny because like obviously they were reselling, but they were like out everywhere. And I remember I went to the ladies' Foot Locker and they had all the Ultra Boost in women's sizes.
1.0 or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, but like no one was going in there. So I was like, yo, let me get 3 pair. And then like I would put them on eBay and then make like $100, $150 like on each. And then I'd be like, yo, I'll go back. Let me get 5 pair. Like, and that was my little thing. But then after that, I was like, all right, bro, like I don't got enough cash flow to be like, you know, doling out money like that. So then, cool. Right when I turned 16, applied for H&M, got it. And then that was like my first retail job, H&M.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I was watching a previous interview. You alluded to it, and you didn't really mention it, but you alluded to like not really having a room till you were a certain age.
Oh yeah, damn, bro, Nardwar shit.
So what? If you don't mind, if you're comfortable, if you speak on that, like.
Well, yeah, for sure, bro. I'm like, you can ask my parents. I got my first bed when I was 13 years old. Other than that, I would always sleep on the couch because like it would always be, we lived in an apartment, so it would always be 2 bed, 2 bath. I have an older sibling, 2 older siblings. They got the other bed. My parents got the other bed. I got the couch. So, and that was always just it. And that was my life.
Did you view, when you say it like that, you probably aren't viewing it like weird, you know?
I sleep on a couch, bro. Like, nah, I was chilling. Like,
it's normal for you in a way.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. And then, I remember, bro, one time, nuts. I think this will be a funny story. Just might as well say it. One time, obviously we had a couch and it was like the L-shaped one.
Yeah.
And I was sleeping on the L side. That was my bed right there. I was chilling right there. And I remember like, bro, obviously it'd be hot. Couldn't really turn the AC on, so I'd sleep with my shirt off. And then I remember like, bro, I would like itch myself, whatever, this, that. And then I think it was my dad was like, bro, lift your shirt up. And then I lifted my shirt up and I had like little red marks and he was like, so he goes to the couch and he lifts up the shit and there's bed bugs all where I was sleeping, bro. And I didn't even know, bro. I thought I was just like mosquitoes or whatever. Crazy work. And then nutty part about it, it was like, obviously threw the whole couch out, threw all the furniture out. And that's when I think that was like when I was 11 or 12, they got me the futon. So that's when I got the futon joint, and I was like, damn, I'm lit now. Like, no more couch, we futon now. And then like obviously when people would come over, we put it away in my parents' room. Yeah. But that was like my first, and I was like, damn, this shit is lit. And then now I'm like, I remember my fiance's parents, they have a futon, like. And I remember now I sleep in there. I'm like, damn, bro, I don't know how I slept in this shit. Like, it was so uncomfortable. But that was that. And then finally, obviously, my older siblings moved out. And then that's when I was like, yeah, I got my bedroom now.
And what age are you there?
Like 13. I remember that because I turned 13. Obviously, I'm a teen now, not 12.
You probably seen you're seeing all the things we just spoke about.
Yeah.
You're up, bro.
Yeah, bro.
You're up.
And I remember for my birthday, I just turned 13. Obviously, both my siblings are out the house. And my dad was like, yo, let's go to Big Lots. And we got the mattress. And I was like, damn, I'm lit. Like 13, I got my room now. I got my bed now. Bro, I was on. Like, so but I remember that. And I remember that was just so normal, you know? Like, there's so much shit, bro, that, you know, being with my fiance now, because, you know, like she's gone like on ski trips, she gone on this, like she wasn't like obviously like dumb wealthy, but you know, they went on vacation, you know, they did things, you know. So, and then like I learned so much from her, bro, where being like, she's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? I'm like, I don't know, like what do you mean? Oh, like shit like that, where and then she's like, oh, like what do you want to eat for dessert after dinner? And I'm like, dessert? Like what the hell? Like you're just gonna eat and that's it, you know?
Bro, it's funny that you brought it up, because I feel the same. Me and my fiance are a little similar.
Yeah.
Similar upbringing to you. This is my brother. I mean, I know he has stories of sleeping on the couch, I had futon, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But definitely, bro, looking back on my childhood, some of those moments were like some of the best as well.
Yeah, sure.
And as a kid, you don't know. You're not like, you didn't know anything was weird, and especially like shout out to parents, my mom, they did their best.
100%.
So does that help you? I mean, I would assume similar to me. I mean, life isn't perfect.
Yeah.
But I try to think back to growing up or old situations, and it's like, you know what? Life ain't bad.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think, bro, every day I wake up, like obviously now I have different type of stresses, just with like anything in life, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's, with the brand, financial stuff, family stuff, relationship stuff, anything, bro.
Emotional, mental, physical.
Yeah,
shit. We'll
bro.
get into that. Yeah.
All of that. But I think I always think back like, bro, I used to sleep on the couch for 13 years. Or like, bro, I had to grind this shit out. Like, the fuck am I complaining about? Like, I dealt with like other stuff. Like, why am I complaining about like this bill or like this, paying this bulk? And I'm like, bro, like, I like, think about it, bro. And I tell my girl all the time, like, bro, I'm so grateful for the way I came up. Of just like, I'm not gonna say I was poor, but I'm not gonna say like, we had to work for it, we had to grind for it, we had to
definitely the working class, bro.
Yeah,
is like,
bro.
I don't like saying the word poor either, but like, yeah, I appreciate those upbringing because I feel like it sparked something when I was younger.
Yeah.
Similar to you, I think you said like you just kind of had to go get it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And it was, like they're going to take care of my food. And if I lived in the crib, I'll have a roof over my head.
Yeah.
Anything else, like my journey into college or working or any saving, I never asked for money. Like it was never like, people trip out. Like my girl, like, what do you mean you never asked your parents for money? Like I never, one, I probably knew.
Yeah.
Not that, And two, it was like if I did, I hit at my grandpa and I'm washing his car and mowing his lawn, taking me, cause all my uncles, all construction and concrete and how, so.
Yeah, crazy shit.
Lucky enough, I would go work with them for a few hours, or my dad and like gets $20 and shit and rack that up for fucking blazers or whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. I mean, there's a lot I want to get into, but before we move into, let's start here. H&M.
Yeah.
You're 16. Seems like you're working retail, maybe like intentionally because you're gravitating towards clothes.
Yeah.
You're also maybe reselling vintage, or you're getting into vintage. I know this is probably like, or shoot, mate, or do you have any relation to like Goodwill and Savers growing up? I know I shopped there for like school and stuff. Like,
yeah, I want to say Goodwill for sure, just because it's like that's where you kind of like get to.
That's the name brand.
Yeah, like you get to get secondhand stuff, but it's already kind of sorted out. You don't really gotta trip about like trying to look for it. So for sure, Goodwill stuff. Obviously same thing, upcycling it the way I could. But I think H&M was just kind of like my outlet to like, all right, now I got a steady paycheck. Obviously, I was buying stuff there for like 50% off just because I got it. And then shout out my homie, I'm gonna put him on because he put me on. That's when I started working at H&M, and then my homie was like, yo, go to La Brea. It's like whatever the Rose Bowl was, but La Brea version.
Melrose
like
Fleet,
the
Fairfax
marketplace
Fleet or whatever.
That. So then that's when I was like, my thing was always eBay. I would go on eBay and search up like vintage Bon Jovi tee,
looking
vintage
for stills?
Iron Maiden. Yeah, like just something like trying to find like, because obviously I'm looking at Jerry sell a $900 Nirvana tee, and I'm like, okay, well I can't spend that. Like let me try to find what I like. So my shit was always Iron Maiden, Bon Jovi, Megadeth, because I actually listened to that. Like I'm not just like it's funny because I remember I went to Round 2 one time, sold a Bon Jovi shirt, and they gave me like dirt, and they're like, nobody listens to this, bro. And I'm like, I bet. Like that's but I'm like, fuck it, that's my shit. Like so that I always make it a thing to like, I'm gonna buy every single Bon Jovi tee I can find and just stash it, because like that's just what I like. But yeah, working at H&M doing that, Fairfax flea market, and my homie put me on, and then that's when I kind of saw like, oh shit, there's vintage resellers. Like going into different booths and seeing like the curation and being like, okay, like making homies with this guy or that guy, like, and then like seeing like the prices of things and seeing like, okay, single stitch or 90s 2000s, like seeing rap tees and being like, damn bro, all right, cool, like this is a whole nother realm.
Yeah.
You know, and then that gets into, obviously you're not too far from round 2, and then you kind of see them coming up. And then you see like, okay, there's more than just a flea market. There's people doing a business behind it and like reselling vintage, you know? So.
And as a kid, I'm assuming you too, your eyes light up.
Oh yeah, 100%, bro.
A business behind clothes?
Yeah, bro. Literally. I mean, it always was like that for just from seeing like, obviously, you know, these designer brands do it.
Yeah.
But you're seeing like the streetwear side of it with Diamond, Supreme, and all that. And I think definitely seeing, you know, round 2 and seeing like, all right, bro, like these dudes, like they're just regular guys that made it into a business model.
That's what I was going to say. I think vintage makes it feel real, like not real, attainable maybe.
Yeah.
Because like before it's like you're probably feeling like, what? Like this is kind of what I'm about, and like it's easy to jump into it because people are you get it.
100%.
Senior, so 16, 17.
Yeah.
What are you doing senior year of high school? Because this is a time you're either working, you're going to college.
Yeah.
Are you working at H&M still?
Yeah, I'm still working there. Just picking up like a whole bunch of shifts, because that's when I was like, got my first whip. Paying for insurance, so I'm like, I gotta do that. Got my phone, I want a new phone, like I gotta pay for the phone. Like that's when, you know, real life, you know, you gotta pay for what you want. And then, you know, obviously I'm like just working, and from there I'm at H&M, going into college, CSUN. I got my like a grant, so obviously I went for free. Shout out to them. And I see Rhude post looking for interns, and this was when I was like in, you know, college, starting college freshman. I was already kind of getting into business fashion at CSUN, and then I was like, you know what? It's funny enough. This was after, but it made sense. It makes sense now. Virgil said like, you know, if you want to get, or no, Gary V. Shout out Gary V. Another one, bro. If you want to get closest to the sun, like you got to try to get as close as possible. So I was like, I want to get into this fashion shit. I want to learn like what's the best thing I can do, you know, intern for a brand that's already doing what I want to do. And obviously from that point, like I knew about Rhude. I've been seeing what he's been doing, you know, seeing his radar. Bandana shirt was what I saw. Kendrick wearing it at, I think, the BET Awards. So I was just like, you know, I knew about him. Kind of researching a little bit. So when I seen that, obviously I've been following him. So I'm like, let me apply. So obviously I'm still working at H&M, still going to CSUN, like doing classes. And then I'm like, all right, fuck it. So I apply, send a DM. I DM'd him, or like I DM somebody else. I think his name is Scott. He was a communications manager. DM me back like, okay, pull up here tomorrow. And then I'm like, all right, bet. Like that was quick. And me being me, like, bro, one thing about me, bro, I learned that in college, I'm good with ethnography, which means like good with like reading people and like kind of like surroundings. So I was like, looked up the address, and it was a house. And I was like, this house looks familiar. So I go back to his Instagram, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to his crib. Because obviously he's like posted up on his Instagram, like, and I'm like, oh, this is his crib. So I pull up, and sure enough, the dude opens the door, and it's Scott, and he's like, yo, Andy? And I'm like, yeah. And then I see Rue in the back, and I'm like, oh shit. Like this is Like it all happened so quick. Like I'm like, bro, at one point I'm watching him. The next point I'm applying. The next point I'm seeing. I'm in his crib.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yo, let's go to the balcony. And then like Rhude's just like, bro, he's like in his own world. But
Player
I'm just like,
vibes for
yeah,
sure.
like bro, house in the hills, like chilling, like crazy furniture.
Yep.
That's when I first laid my eyes on the Togo couch,
Yeah.
leather.
Yeah.
That was my first time ever seeing a couch like that. And I was like, damn, this is what it is. And he was just like, yo, so why do you want to, obviously Scott was like, why do you want to apply here? And I was like, give him the whole spiel. I like clothes, I do this, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to school for it, blah, this, that, and the third. And then he was like, cool, can you start tomorrow? And I was like, hell yeah, I can start tomorrow. Like, fuck it, like let's get this shit rolling. And then, you know, was there for like a year. First day, like that's the thing, bro. I'm eternally grateful just for that internship, because from like day 0, obviously going in there and being like, oh shit, and then day 1, bro, like Rhude's like, yo, pull up to the crib, like come pick me up. I was like, bet. Picked him up. He's like, yo, let's go source fabric. And I was like, oh fuck, like I don't know anything about this, like, but he's like, yo, just go here, go there, like don't worry about it, like and I'm driving him around, he's on his phone, like just chilling. I'm like, damn, bro, like this is really happening right now, like I'm in it. Went to fabric shop, bro. He's like talking to fabric people, buying stuff, like doing this, like, yo, like what do you think about this? And he's asking me, what do you think about this? And I'm like, oh shit, bro, like the fuck, like, but I'm like, oh, I like cool like this. I was like, yo, like, you know, that's when. And then he was like, what do you think about this corduroy? And I'm like, oh, this corduroy would be cool for that, like giving him my 2 cents. And he's like, all right, bet. So then we dip, and then we go to the wash house, and I'm like, bro, like at one point I'm wanting to learn. The next day I'm in it. I'm in the fire, you know? So I'm like, cool, we did all that. And I was like, damn, successful day to me. Like I just saw a whole bunch of shit, like the ins and out of like streetwear. And then took me out to eat at Lala's in Studio City. I'll never forget it. Same thing, bro. Like I'd never been to Lala's Argentinian spot in Studio City. Goated. That was kind of like my first like expensive restaurant.
Taste of that.
You know, like obviously for me expensive was Cheesecake Factory.
Facts.
Like,
yeah.
You know, like that was it. And then once I went there and I was like, damn, like he's like, just get whatever you want. And I was like, all right, bet. And then like he was just on his phone the whole time, like answering phone calls, and I'm just there like, you know, chilling. I wanted to pay for it because I was like, I come from that type of family.
Smooth.
Like, if someone is doing something, you gotta kind of like, it's not free. Don't expect it to be free. And then he comes back. He's all right, let's go. And I'm like, oh, we gotta pay. He's like, it's already paid for. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, you sure? He's like, yeah, I got you. And then just that day alone, I went home and I was like, bro, I was happy as like kid in a candy store. I was like, damn, bro, like I'm really in it now. Like just in the realm of streetwear, you know?
Felt real.
Yeah, bro. Shit was nuts.
Yeah, bro. I've learned of Rhude through actually Rhude. I like Instagram personality almost.
Yeah, literally.
Also seen him at Laker game, season tickets, and like. But then the way you explain just the day to day, it's like it also reminds you, oh, this dude's just another dude. Like I'm just hanging out. We're just sourcing fabric, and he's just another brand owner. Yeah. What any gems you learned from him, even verbally, or anything you just watched and you picked up, like, oh, bro, this is insane.
I'm gonna just say this story because fuck it, bro, this shit was so long ago. I remember one time So obviously I was a runner, so I would just go pick up the sample, go do this, go do that, which I enjoyed because I'm getting firsthand at all.
Writing down the address.
Yeah, or like seeing all the people, like,
all the
you know, like come on, you got to be resourceful. Yeah. So, we're pulling up to the wash house. I'm pulling up to the sewers. All the hoodies are white because obviously before they get pre-dyed. So we're at the sewers, bro. I'm there for like 2 hours, like chilling, waiting for them to finish all the sewing. Anybody who's in the industry, you know, the sewers drink while they're like working and shit. So they don't fucking care, bro. If the beer gets on or they're like, it's just going to the wash house. Who gives a fuck? So obviously we did all that. Boom, boom, boom. Everything gets, so how he would do it is everything would get sewed. It was always obviously white. They would get printed. Take them to the wash house, get dyed, do the stone wash, which would give it that like vintage feel. Obviously the cracking, because obviously it's been washed and everything, so it looks like vintage, like
because actually washed.
Yeah,
and shit.
like
Wow,
wash
okay.
and stone wash. So like the whole thing was there. We go pick up the hoodies, and I'm looking at the hoodies. I'm like, damn, like there's some are gray and some are black, like spots. So then I take a hoodie out, and it's blotchy, like once it's been washed.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, I hope these fools don't think that like I fucked up on something. Like, so I was like, shit. So then I text Scott. I'm like, yo, bro, like something's up with the hoodies. Like, he's like, bring them back. So I bring them, and he lays the hoodie down, and you can tell like that's like if I put a hoodie down and poured this water on it. That's how it would look, like a little blotchy. And then he was like, that's the beer from the sewers when they were sewing on it. It like seeped into it. So when it washed, it like bled into it. And this was all, I want to say it was either, it was Barney's. It was either, it was Barney's like delivery. So they already ordered everything, paid for everything. And that was
the product.
That was the product. But it wasn't supposed to look like that. So then Rue sees it, and he's like, looks kind of sick. And I'm like, we're all like, they're like, so he's like, fucking mastermind, bro. He takes a pic of it, like just takes a pic, puts it on Instagram, new wash. Comments go fucking nuts, bro. Go bonkers. And then he's like, just send it to Barney's. Send it to Barney's. Next day, bro, they have it on the mannequin. Shit sells out in that first week. And then I think from what I took from that was like, what the consumer doesn't know doesn't hurt them. Like, if the people don't, like, if you know it's bad, you're not like if they don't know it, bro, like just let that shit fly. You never know what it could be. And I've seen it multiple times through multiple different brands of like a fuck up happens or something happens, and it's like, if you don't point it out and if the product's still there and it's still good, people still want to buy it. Like, that's what it is. And, you know, I think it goes back to Gary Vee. It's like, you know, the market's going to tell you if it's good or not. You're not going to decide whether it's good or not. Like, they're going to tell you if we want it or not. And that was a prime moment of like, okay, damn, like you kind of dictate whether something's good or whether something's bad, you know, like, and that was my first moment seeing like, all right, bet, like, that's why he is who he is. Like, cause he's like, we were all panicking, like, fuck, and he was like, yo, chill, like, let's hold on, let's see this through.
That's it. How many people can relate to that though too, of just like letting something just like the world's about to end, but bro, instead like that's a good point, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, that like, so, and last thing on the Rhude before we move on to the next one, but we're in college now, freshman year of college. You interned there for a year. You're learning the game and he's manufacturing in LA.
Yeah, everything's in LA.
You're in LA, so this is basically you learning the game.
Yeah, bro, and that's why I'm like, I always say like, damn, bro, I wish I had TikTok back then.
What year is this?
This is like 2018, 2019. So obviously that was not a thing.
Years, but I mean
yeah,
kind of again ahead of the time, not ahead of the time, but
I was like in the mix of what was happening. Like
learning some stuff. You probably learned like, bro, this is
like,
I could do this.
Yeah, like, and that's what it was, because you kind of see, obviously you see the financials behind it, the margins behind it. You see how much everything really costs, and you see what other people are charging. And then I'm like, all right, bet, like, if you're buying it at that, maybe I can sell it for like a quarter, and like, you know, it moves. So obviously that's when I was like kind of doing my thing. And I was around the sewers, the washers, of this to that. You know, I was like, you know, going into Maxfield, watching the pop-ups, like going into Barney's, like seeing the consumer, like watching how things maneuver, obviously seeing how Rhude designs, and like seeing this, like, and kind of being like, all right, like I think I have my own like little story that I want to tell of like what I want. This was fun while it lasted, but I kind of knew like this is not what I want to do for like a long period of time.
Yeah.
So, but it was crazy, bro. Like, think about it. Like, I would wake up, probably go intern from like 11 to 2, then go to CSUN because I had night classes from like 3 to 6 or 3 to 7 sometimes, and then get off and go work at H&M from like 7 to 11 closing for like 2 years. Like, grinding, bro.
Yep.
And for me it was hard because I was making bread at H&M, so that was cool. I was, meeting people, doing this. I was at Rhude, obviously getting free Rhude. Like, I wasn't getting paid, but I was getting like free drip, and I was like, damn, like I'm on. And then like the outlier was like I would go to school and sit down and be like, today we're gonna learn about this rayon fabric, and I'm like, bro, I'm over here, like, I'm watching this dude make thousands of dollars off a hoodie, and you're teaching me about how to make a skirt.
You're like, teacher, you can't tell me shit.
Like, and that was
you
just...
don't even know what I was doing yesterday.
Bro, like, that was just so hard for me to, like, put together of, like, okay, you guys are teaching one thing. Like, I quickly realized, like, okay, they're going to teach me how to do couture, how to teach me how to maybe, like, do stuff in Milan. Like, really make clothes, really do stuff.
That's what you wanted to do.
Which was cool, but I was just like, there's a whole nother realm that y'all don't even know about. Like, that people are making millions of dollars. Like, you don't even know.
Especially at that time. 2018's crazy.
Bro,
like you said, it's not the Instagram brands where you're kind of seeing it now, or TikTok now.
Yeah, 100%.
That's like the Off-White, Round 2, Virgil era. And
bro.
I don't remember a lot of... Anyways, yeah. So you leave Rhude. What year? How do you get introduced to working at Round 2? And also, like, do you finish CSUN? Because it kind of sounds It kind of sounds like you're like, fuck this.
Yeah, so, long story short, obviously left Rhude. Kind of was just like, yo, I'm going to focus on myself, like, doing my thing. They're like, all right, cool, all good, don't worry. Left there. I was at school, and then I was like, all right, cool. Like, school's cool, but like I'm starting to start my brand, and then kind of realizing, like, damn, bro, I kind of hate school. Like, like going and studying and like learning about clothes, and I'm like, bro, like you gotta really make the shit. Like, whatever, bro. I was just watching it. The big 2020 hit, and no, 2019. Round 2's doing like applications. Like, they're hiring. January, they're like, all right, cool, we're fucking, hiring. I end up applying to the Round 2, 2019. No, 2020. And I'm there. Sean, Luke, and Chris Russo interview me. And I come in. I have like these 2016, 2017 Royal ones, busted up just because I used to skate in them. Like, I would skate around CSUN in them because that's how I got from class to class, just like skateboarding. And Sean was like, yo, damn, bro, nice 94s. And in my head, I'm like, what? Like, I didn't even like click to me. And then he was like, yeah, so same spiel. Why do you want to work here? What'd you do? Oh, you worked at Rhude? Oh, yeah, okay, did this. Oh, you work at H&M? Blah, blah, blah. And then quickly, Luke was like, yo, so when can you start? And I was like, I got to put my 2 weeks in. Like, I'm sure I can. He's like, okay, you want to start next week? And I was like, yeah, I'm down. So that was that. And then Sean was like, damn, bro, like, how'd you get your shoes? Like, they still look clean. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is a 20. He's like, oh, I thought those were 94s. I'm like, nah, this is 20. He's like,
Is it because they're so beat?
Yeah, because they were so, like, busted, bro. But I'm like, fuck it, bro. That probably worked in my favor because he probably saw me like, oh, this kid knows.
He knows what's up.
But fuck it, bro. It worked out. So left H&M. Went to Round 2. Round 2 was chilling. Obviously, 2020, we all know what the fuck happened. And I was there for, like, January, February, March, shutdown, bro. So as soon as I was like, oh yeah, like I'm in Round 2 in like 3 months, and then I'm like, damn, now I'm not at Round 2. Like, but obviously, like, we're trying to figure out what the fuck's gonna happen, School's happening, and we're at school learning how to make an asymmetrical dress, this, that, and the third. I'm kind of realizing I took a loan out finally because like my whatever's So I had to, I ended up having to start to
For
pay for school.
Yeah.
I think I was at like $4,000 that I was paying like out of pocket. And then I kind of seen like, all right, bro, this isn't what it is. My teacher was like, there's no way you can learn this from home. You need to be here. There's no way we're shutting down. Next week we shut down. And I was like, well, Shorty said we can't learn it from home. So now I'm getting sent a video of how to make a dress. Yeah, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a year off and, like see what happens. Obviously never went back as we can see. Just because like, bro, like I just quickly started to realize like, all right, this is not for me, like see son. Fast forward, we're in May. That's when things started to open up again, like in LA. They're like, yo, you want to come work?
Okay.
That's when I worked like damn, bro, trapping days. Those days were
the stimmy days.
The stimmy days were insane at round 2, bro. People were buying like anything and everything, bro. Like shit was nuts. And it was so like beaked out that we would, obviously we had obviously round 2, being around 2, that's when I saw the resale game, vintage, more shit.
You're still young. You're what, like?
I'm like, I think I'm like 19.
Okay, yeah, you're still young.
19, 20-ish. So then I'm like, cool. That's when I started seeing like, learning about watches, jewelry, like seeing all this like vintage Supreme, vintage stuff, like Jordans, reselling Yeezys, like a whole nother realm. And, obviously like, that's when I'm with, shout out DC, because DC was kind of like, when I met him, like strict, like, so kind of being like, you got to be on your P's and Q's. Like it was cool to be there, but like you kind of got to like work
on your shit.
Yeah. Like you're not just here to fuck around. And, just being there and like seeing how much people were spending on shit. I'm like, oh fuck. Like, and seeing regular people, obviously it was stimmy days, but like seeing like other people like, have a business out of it.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then just being around there, and then obviously Sean being like, yo, we need to do IG Reels, because IG Reels started like
trended, like the whole TikTok like reel thing
popping a little bit. This was before TikTok. I think TikTok was like dancing only. Charlie D'Amelio.
Yeah, that's what it was known for. Like if you had a TikTok at that time, it was
you were Charlie D'Amelio for sure, bro. So, or whatever. What is it? Bryce Hall. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
So that's when Sean was like, yo, we need to do IG Reels. And I was like, I would kind of do it here and there for me. And then he was like, yo, like, let's just start doing it. So I kind of helped out with the Reels, like night Reels, or like just like little things here and there.
Putting clips together probably at that time, early on. Yeah.
Because it's what he wanted. And then from there, like, same thing, bro. Like I was like, bro, I don't just want to be like, hey guys, like, how's it going with the door? And like, open the door, close the door. How many people? 10 people? Okay, cool. We can't like. So then I was like, yo, I want to start picturing the clothes and like doing this and doing that. So then I started picturing, and like they liked the way I liked the pictures were, the lighting was, this to that, like, and I was being creative and obviously doing the IG Reels, and then like just that kind of made me be like, all right, cool. Like I'm doing something important, like in the social media aspect. Same thing of like, okay, if I can do it for round 2, I can do it for my brand. Like kind of like the same type of setup where like the big ass pics, the lighting, making sure the background's good. So that's kind of the things I took for my brand too. And then, yeah, bro, like obviously I was there for like, I think like a year and a half, maybe 2 years, learned a lot, like just from everybody, being around Sean, being around Luke, like seeing all types of different personalities from everybody and being like, all right, cool. And
seeing what sells, what's trending, the resale, the money,
everything, bro.
All the references you probably were like, a lot of game that people probably, it's great to do it virtually. We have Instagram and all that, but like obviously that era was like a once in a lifetime time. And I remember swinging by or just being exposed to that. I could imagine working's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Of the stuff you'd see every day.
Yeah.
That comes to an end 2021 then or whatever.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Connections with Syndicate connections with round 2 lead you to working in still sneakers.
Yeah.
Syndicate now. 100%. Round 2's dead or?
I want to say like
closing.
I definitely came in on the back end of round 2, like of kind of like okay, like obviously people are still coming in,
Yeah.
but it wasn't as like popping as like back in the day.
The vlogs,
obviously
the reference.
I think 2020 really kind of like shifted everything, because that's when everybody kind of started opening up new stores and kind of started starting new brands and starting this and starting that. So, and obviously they weren't around as much, like Sean and all them, and you obviously you hear stuff internally, and then you're like, all right, cool, like what we gonna do, like, and I'm like, damn, bro, I just got here, like, and now I think
you just went from being hired, like, damn, bro,
yeah,
we about to be on the vlogs,
yeah,
and then COVID happened,
yeah,
but,
and then
luckily you locked in before COVID, but yeah, go on.
100%, yeah. So I'm like, damn, bro, like, cool, and then obviously, I'm talking with DC, because shout out DC and Manny, like they were kind of like, yo, we kind of want to do something, like we kind of got something in mind, and I was like, whatever it is, bro, I'm in. Whatever you guys want to do, I'm in. Because I just, it's like that thing where it's like, again, bro, they exposed me to a lot too, like watches, jewelries, going to Lock and Key, going to Blind Barber, like seeing all that stuff, like what they were like doing. Obviously, I just turned 21, so they were
you on game,
yeah, bro, like started showing me like swag and like cars and this and that. So I'm like, yo, whatever y'all on, I'm here for it. Like y'all are like kind of like my new mentors.
Yeah.
So that's when I saw Briss. Like Briss was like a mythical creature, bro.
New York, right? At the time?
Yeah, because he was Gulag Chris. So he was like not in round 2 no more, but he was like, he would come around like just chilling in his Porsche and just chill. Like he was just doing his thing, like come see what the fuck was going on and then dip and then go back to New York and chill. So I was like, damn, what the fuck is Briss doing, So then finally DC goes like, yo, like I think, obviously we're gonna dip, we're gonna start our own shit, like we want you to come with us, because like Briss likes the way you do your work, your reels and stuff. Yeah. So then I'm like, all right, bet, like I'm down, like I'm with it. And then we go out, I think we go to Lock and Key or we go somewhere, bro. And no, I know where we went. It's this like little down low key bar called the Association. Shout out Calibound. Calibound was throwing it. Yo, that shit was a movie that day. Like certified movie. Like people from wall to wall. People like, bro, we're having a blast in there. And then I'm sitting with DC, and he's like, yo, so are you in? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, you want to join what we're doing? And I was like, bro, I've been telling you, like, yes, like I'm like, whatever y'all need, like I'm with you. And he's like, all right, bet. And that was kind of like the social network shit. Remember when he was there at the club and they're like, yo, what's up? Like, are we doing this or not? I'm like, yeah, bro, we doing this shit. So then cool, put my 2 weeks in. 2 weeks didn't last. I don't think they really liked it. So dipped out. Obviously, I went with them from day 0, seeing everything. And then Briss was like, you're just going to do reels. Just do reels. I started doing TikTok here and there and kind of seeing like traction. I was getting traction on TikTok. And then he was like, yo, I want to build the syndicate TikTok too. And I was like, I bet. Quickly realized like we're not going to, like for them, I was like, we're not going to sell a product. We're going to sell you guys. Like your lifestyles, who you are. Yeah, like the new people, like, I'm not going to be like, come buy this shoe. Like that shit's dead. Like we got to show people who you are, because you guys are the characters and people want to know who you are, how you dress, what you like. And obviously I think Briss was like kind of against it, because he's like Batman, bro. He's like, I don't want to, I'm just behind the scenes. Like I just do all the work and y'all get the shine. Like I'm chilling, bro. Like, and he wanted me to be like up close, and I was like, that's cool and all, but people like you guys, like people are going to come because of you. So every time doing like growing and being with them and doing the TikToks and the reels, I try to like be like, yo, do this, do that, do this. And they're like, nah, bro, like that's not us. But I was like, bro, forcing it, like, trust me, bro, like this is what people want. And I think it was like one video went like super dumb. And that's when they were like, okay, like I'm down, I'm all in.
We trust you.
Yeah, literally, bro. That's literally what it was.
Anything, again, similar to round 2, anything you learn, not even intentionally that was told from you or any advice, but what are you picking up by observing how maybe you're like, maybe in my head, one step ahead, like one step higher now, opposed to round two. You're right under seeing what Briss and everyone's doing as far as ownership goes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you learning from observing
From round two?
Syndicate now?
Everything, bro. Because that was more so like,
You're a little hot. You're in it. Again.
yeah, round two was like cool, but like you just hear what's happening on the back end. You don't really see it.
Yeah.
And then at Syndicate, you kind of see all of it, the ins and out. Like, bro, like I said, I was day zero. So like you kind of see like, okay, like it was more so I learned a lot from Briss because I think he kind of took me under his wing of being like, all right, bro, like you got something special and I want to like put you on to, you know, a lot of new things like business and all that. So, and I kind of took it like, all right, bro, this motherfucker don't got a store and a Porsche for no reason. Like he's doing something right. So I was just like a sponge. Like anything he would say or anything he would do, I would just soak it up, whether he was like working out, whether he was reselling, whether he was doing, you know, business stuff. Like I would always try to soak up whatever he was doing and whatever everybody else was doing, obviously. But sorry about that. But I think just being around them and seeing the way they maneuvered throughout the business and how they were so sharp with like making sure the sales were good, making sure the taxes were good, making sure the back end was good, like, and like seeing all that, I'm like, oh shit, like this is really what running a business is.
Kids see the sneakers, the jerseys, the TikTok, bro. But like, nah.
There's a whole nother shit that is like, like it's cliche, but they don't teach you in school, bro. Like, and that's when I kind of started seeing like, oh shit, okay, like they're not playing around, like they're serious, and like kind of seeing like why they are who they are and why they open up a store and like, you know, the decisions they were making to make sure the business stayed afloat or making sure that, you know, the brand was good, the character was good, or like making sure like obviously there was plenty of things where I would record and they're like, nah, we're not putting that out. But it was just because they were like, we got something that we're trying to sell and like an image and like this is not us, bro, like, and you just got to respect that. I was like, all right, cool, I bet. But just seeing like, okay, cool, like not everything's gonna fly, you got to really think about what you're doing, and like it's cool to adapt because obviously shout out to Briss because he was just like, the new age is here of TikTok and like we got to adapt, if not we're gonna get left behind because like the old ways of doing things is not what it is now. So obviously that was 2021, 2021, 2022. Shout out again, bro. Shout out to Briss. Obviously, I had my brand. He was, anytime he would do something, he'd be like, yo, you want to do a collab? Like, you want to do 1213 in it? Or you want to do Cindy 1213? You want to do this? You want to do that? Like, always including me into it, which I, like, in retrospect, like, super appreciated because he didn't have to do any of that shit, bro. Like, he could have just been like, yo, we're doing Cindy this. Yo, we're doing Cindy that. Like, he always try to include me into it. Like, yo, design this. Design a shirt for this. I do that. So... And bro, same thing. Like first time I went to New York was because Briss was like, yo, we're going to do a Cindy pop-up, bring 1213 so we can do a collab. Bet. Yo, we're going to go to Miami, bring 1213 so we can do a collab. Like first time I went to New York was obviously with them, Miami with them, Coachella with them, like, and collabing and like doing things and like kind of seeing same thing, being with in New York with Briss and seeing how he maneuvered and how people like, no offense, but like glazed, but like respected him and like treated him like a legend, bro. Like, and hearing the stories people would tell about like round 2 days about him and being like, all right, bet, like this is a good person to be around because he got like, he knows what he's doing, bro. So
nah, Briss is somebody I'm the type to steal advice and just observe. Because obviously like face to face from round 2 days 2016 I was reselling there and dropping off stuff. I would thrift and people would, you know, you have the idea, or I would have the idea like, man, this dude looks like a dick or so intimidating, you know, or maybe even just round 2 in general. Fast forward, round 2 opens up, he does basketball, starts opening up to the community, and then that's where my respect builds because it's like, dang, like not only, well, one, you don't see the business side of sneaker shops. Kids just think it's fun, which it is.
Easy
I'm sure
money.
It's fun and it's sexy and it's cool and you're doing it.
Bro.
But his hard work and the way he carries himself, I think, is what people respect.
100%.
So now, what do you tail end of Syndicate? What makes you, or correct me if I'm wrong, but what makes you kind of go all in on bet on yourself?
I want to say it was just like, you know, obviously we were like, bro, we were obviously going on a rampage, like just fucking doing everything under the sun of just like collab, this and that, going to New York, going to here, going
In terms
to there.
of what you guys could do.
Yeah, like just like being like a powerhouse. And then like, you know, again, bro, it gets at some point where you're just like, I kind of was like, all right, bro, obviously I want to build Syndicate and like, you know, keep continuing to help them out. But I kind of saw me kind of like fading away from 1213, like doing more things for myself. And it was difficult, bro, because obviously like, again, bro, they put me onto so much shit. Like they're like mentors to me, brothers to me. So I'm just like, like I want to build Syndicate and I want to like them like
Be a part.
but I kind of knew at that moment, like, you know, I need to fund and like baby 1213 more because I wasn't giving, like, obviously we were doing collabs and stuff, which was great, but I just wasn't being consistent enough with my stuff. And like at some point it's like you got to choose one, bro. Like you can't do both. Like it gets tricky. And I kind of saw myself like being like, all right, bro, like I've had my brand for like 7 years. Like this always been my baby. Like I got to make a decision. So obviously I was like, one day I was like, yo, bro, like I think my time here has like kind of come up just because I know if I continue on with you guys, yeah, it'll be great. But I'm like, this is what's like kind of like funding me and like my life and like, and this is like my true thing, you know, like this is your thing. And this is like, and I think we did well while, you know, we obviously went on a rampage, did what we did. And they're like, all right, bro, all good. Like, and obviously DC was like, I knew this day would come at some point. Like, you know, I there's no hard feelings. There's no none of that. Like, you got to do what you got to do, bro. Like, it is what it is. So then I was like, all right, cool. Like, that went smoother than I expected, you know? Like, obviously, it kind of sucked because, you know, like, I think the one thing is, like, you're always around people. You're always around, like, seeing things. And, like, now I'm, like, venturing off into, like, the shadow realm. I've always had, like, even when I was doing my brand, I always had Rhude, I always had H&M, always had Round 2, always had Syndicate, like, and now I'm like, damn, now it's just like I'm off on my own, like, gotta figure it out, and like there's no real something to fall back on. But I think I already kind of solidified, like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I got enough experience from so many things I've done.
Bro, yeah, like, bro, we spent an hour, like, you got the dope, like, everyone's journey's dope and unique, but it's like, it's cool because I heard a saying where it's like your life makes sense backwards.
Yeah, bro.
And now looking back on it, it's kind of cool because you just like picked up little things along the way. So now 1213.
Yeah.
This is your baby.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I admire, or that I just want to soak up game a little bit from you.
Yeah.
How the fuck you stay so consistent, bro? There's a new drop every other day or a day or a week, and then it's a new design you show on the story. What's this? What sauce could you give to people watching?
Like so many, bro. I get at least once a week, if not every day. Someone's like, I want to start a brand. I want to do a brand. I'm like, bro, if you want to start a brand, bro, like, obviously I don't even know how long we're into this interview, but you see, like,
what
I lived and breathed this shit every day. Like, I wanted to make clothes. I wanted to buy it. I wanted to alter my shit. I wanted to, like, I went to school for it. I worked for free for it. I, you know, got close to people that I like. This is what I truly, truly wanted to do. And even when I was making no bread, when my parents like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, interning for free, you know, you're going to work, you're coming home late, and you have a brand. Like, what are you doing? And then everybody being like, oh, nice little brand you got, like this and that, like making fun of what I was making. Like, I still prevailed. I still like chugged along. So it was just like, you got to really, really want this shit. Right now, bro, it's super oversaturated because it's easy to have a brand now. Back then, I needed to go intern to figure out how to make a shirt. Like, there was no Alibaba, there was no TikTok shop, there was none of that shit, bro. Like, you had to really know how to make clothes. Like, now this shit is so easy. So that's why I'm like, if you want to do a brand, and especially for me, like, I'm a consumer, bro. Like, since early on. So like, I know what I like and I know what I want. And every day, like obviously I'm getting older, I'm evolving, my style's evolving. And for people who I guess want to like start a brand, it's like, why? Again, shout out Jerry. Like, why do you want to do it? Why should people care? What's your meaning? What's your story? What's your campaign? Like, who are you? What's your message? And like mine's was always like, obviously 12:13 is a Bible verse, Exodus 12:13, which is like when God comes to wipe the land of Egypt, you cover your house in the blood of Jesus and you'll be all right. Like he'll protect. You know, kind of, yeah, like protect you, go over you, and you'll be fine. So for me, that's like anything that I make, whether it's these cargos, the shirt I got, the hat I got, like it's good energy, good vibes, good, like you're buying something clean, you're buying something positive. And then, but I don't want to throw that in your face so much because I know a lot of people, everybody got different, you know, religious beliefs. But I'm like, fuck it, you got a nice pair of cargos. You got a nice little hat you got on. But there's like that little, keep the faith. There's like little messages that I put in the clothes to kind of, you know, give people that essence of 12:13. But it's still me, like what I like, and I know what's missing in other people's things. Mm-hmm. Especially now, it's like I said, the market's so oversaturated. So I'm like, let's just go. Right now, I'm like, let's just go basic blank tee, good basic clothes. Cargos, like just back to the basics. Because everyone's like, fuck it, I'm wearing it, rhinestones and pearls. But I'm like, I get like happy because so many people are like 2-3 years later, like I still got that hoodie you dropped 3 years ago. I still got this. And now when I design, I try to make it like that. Like, is someone going to wear this a year from now, 2 years from now? Like, the stuff that's popping now is cool, but like, are you going to wear that a year from now, bro? And
a lot of the times, yeah.
It's definitely difficult because, bro, I can't even hate, bro, because there's a lot of people making a lot of money right now and they're breaded up and they're doing great. I'm not going to be, it's crazy because I'm like, fuck, I don't want to be like that old head, like, like, oh, y'all don't even know, like, y'all, are you going to do it? But I'm like, you know, it's like,
it's funny now.
Let them, like, everyone's making bread, bro. There's enough bread for everybody, but that's just the way I see it, is like, you know, time will tell.
Got some rapid fire questions as we come to an end. What's not even rapid fire, but what's what's like, my bad, I lost my, oh shoot. Pause real quick. Go
ahead. Lost your train of thought.
Well, because I'm not gonna lie, we're off track, but it's full of game. No, like the convo's been, actually, you can't even plan good convos like that, bro. I can have it set up, but the journey almost reminds me of like I'm a sports dude.
Yeah.
Like sick. College to the G League to you made the team but you're on the bench.
Yeah.
Oh, you got traded and you're starting.
Yeah.
Oh, then you're on your own team now. What's the biggest misconception, or maybe the biggest misconception you think people have about you and your brand?
Damn, misconception.
Or something you want to just, you want people to know about your brand that maybe you don't necessarily always voice.
I want to say bro, honestly, like, it's me kind of shooting myself in the foot. But it's like, obviously, I make a lot of like crazy Dodger merch and like graphic tees. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what now a lot of people know me for. Of just like, oh, you make the Laker hat, or you make the Dodger merch and do that and do this, like, which is great, which is fine. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously I make bread, but I think people forget, like, I really know how to make clothes. Like, I really know how to like make stuff. So I think this, like, especially this back end of this year and 2026, I'm like, I'm gonna start making like pieces, like really show y'all like what I know, like, and what I know how to do. Obviously, mm-hmm. Bro, I can make hats, t-shirts in my sleep. Like, bro, like, obviously the whole Dodgers back to back, like, I made that shit that day.
Yeah, no.
That the day they were gonna the game was happening. The day before I was designing it, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't want to jinx it." And then the day I was seeing it, I was designing, and then I saw them losing, and I was like, "Fucking close my laptop." I was like, "I said it's over. Like they're not gonna win."
And it's that engine that I admire, bro, because don't get me wrong, anybody could do it, or I could watch the Lakers too and open my laptop, but then again, you might hear like, oh, I could just do it tomorrow, or oh, this isn't perfect, or maybe you start doing it like that's one thing I just want to like celebrate is the consistency, and maybe it's because you're like you say you have no other. Yeah, this is what Andy does.
Yeah.
Like even myself, bro. I do the podcast. I do a lot of speaking. I have the brand. I have this. I'm sneakers. This blah blah blah. But like you said, you hang your hat on like, nah. This is kind of the life I live.
Yep.
This is what I'm about, and this is Kickin Game.
Yep.
So the whole point of the convo is kick some game for the listeners, and I think we there's a lot of gems on here.
Definitely.
Any last Kickin Game moment or a last gem for the listeners that you would want to leave them with?
I just want to say, bro, like, just whatever you're doing, dude, just make sure you keep God close to you no matter what. Like, I wouldn't be here without that faith that I have and without God being there for me, bro. Like, just in every situation, and just even if you feel overwhelmed in any sense of your life, just continue to push forward. Like, continue to better yourself, whether it's go work out, go to the gym, go run, go create. Like, even on my off days, bro, I'll just design. And I have plenty of designs that'll never see the light of day, but it's just to keep my sword, like, sharp no matter what. And just keep going, bro. Talk to everybody. Don't be scared to like take a leap of faith. Don't be scared to do an interview, do something, bro, because that'll blossom into something else. Like, and I'm a testament of that, bro. Like, I'm a kid from the valley, like that, sleeping on the couch, interning for free. People make fun of me for how I dress. Now, like, I got my brand and it's doing well, but like, to me, I always say, like, I haven't even started yet. Like, I still got more shit to do. Like, and don't make excuses of if you don't have resources. Like, I used to design off my phone, bro, because I didn't have a laptop. And I sold it. And I sold shirts off a design I made off my phone, bro. Like, so no excuses, bro. Like, just keep at it and forever try to be a student of the game, because there's always stuff to learn.
And know when you're in the moment. I think you said it too, like thinking back to those Rhude times, thinking back to like some other times, knowing when you're in that moment and appreciating it, knowing when you're in the times you prayed for and appreciating that times.
100%.
And, it helps when you got some humble beginnings. Real quick though, I even want to say you've seen a little success with like just the content on your own.
Yeah.
On running brand ambassador and you do the running content and stuff like that. So anything you wanted to speak on or shout out your content, shout out where they could find you and stuff like that?
Yeah, so if you want to follow me, Andy_Lobos on Instagram, on TikTok, YouTube, here and there. I should be more consistent on that. But just there, bro. Obviously follow 1213. Get you some Dodger merch. And if you don't want it, there's gonna be something there for you. Like that's always my thing. Like, you're gonna find something from me. Whether it's running, whether it's my brand, whether it's just
good
whatever
message,
content.
Good vibes.
Yeah, bro. So lock in.
Good vibes for the fellas. Young kids need some good role models. Andy's somebody that I have a lot of respect for and hope to see your brand continue to growing.
Definitely.
Content, good vibes and all that. But thank y'all for watching. This is Kickin Game. Till next time, peace.
Yes, sir. Peace.